A warm round of applause.
Hi, everybody. Hey, I hope you like the song. That is my favorite song of all time. Absolutely love it. I know all the words. So it's great to be here today. It's a real treat because I have spent 25 years, my career, literally helping entrepreneurs and business owners to really create their own personal brand and to drive business growth. So to have the opportunity to be here and to share some of this advice with you, I'm hoping you're going to find it really, really valuable. Okay, so just to kind of get your minds in the realm of thinking about personal branding, I want to know, did anybody hear about what happened in 2024 with the celebrity lookalike phenomenon? Yes? It was crazy. It was very, very weird. But people seem to like turn up at parties because they felt like they looked like somebody else. And Timothy Chalamet, who is an actor, he's been in June and Little Women, etc. So this particular party stood out to me because Timothy Chalamet basically had this lookalike party, and he actually turned up for it, which never happens. And there's all these young men there who think they look like Timothy Chalamet. And I just thought, isn't that strange? Like, why? Why would you turn up? People flew from other countries to turn up to say, don't I look like Timothy Chalamet? And I thought, why would you do that? Because you yourself are entirely unique and you need to own it. So, and then something a little bit closer to home in terms of entrepreneurship is what happened with Elizabeth Holmes, the CEO of Theranos. Did anyone ever follow that story? Yes. Mind-blowing. But I don't know if you actually listened to the podcast around it or even the documentary, but her colleagues said that when she started the company, she used to wear dresses. She was very kind of like feminine. And over the course of the few years, she changed. She wore turtlenecks to look like Steve Jobs. She even, apparently, after about 2 or 3 years, her voice broke. And she actually started to sound like a man, which I think is incredible. She's now in prison for 10 years, not for those reasons, but because of what she did with her business. But again, it's like, if you are an entrepreneur and you are building your business, own it. Own who you are because you have real, unique values. And so that's really, I want you to walk away from this presentation today and feel like, you know what, there are 6 key things that I can do that is going to build my brand. You're going to create more connections in your network. I'm going to make you unforgettable. And also, you're going to drive business growth. So just to kind of give you a little bit of credibility perspective, like I have spent, literally, I was actually working out last night, actually worried me, 28 years in my career. So I'm obviously very young and very youthful. But I first started working on the Expedia brand. So Expedia used to be called Microsoft Expedia. I was based in London, and I was part of the messaging team, okay, for Expedia, which was like, wow, what a great job to start with. But what I thought was so interesting, and still interesting to this day, is that Expedia was not built on a business purpose. It was built on the narrative and the values of the CEO who started Expedia, okay? And his values were all about allowing people to be empowered to travel wherever they want to go. He hated borders, he hated control, he wanted to give people the freedom to control their own life. And literally, so when we were developing the narrative for Expedia, it wasn't so much about the business purpose, which was transactional. It was actually about the narrative of the values of the person who started the company. And 30 years on, I mean, Expedia is doing extremely well. And those values remain important to everything that they do when they tell their story. And I want to kind of bring this even closer to home. So chicken salad chick. So when I came to the UK, I'd never heard of Chicken Salad Chick. But I don't know if you listened to the podcast, how I built this. If you haven't heard this story, please, first thing to do today when you leave is go and listen to Chicken Salad Chick's story, because it's amazing. There's a lot of heartfelt drama, but there's so much like tenacity which comes through, and so much success. But Stacey, basically, if you don't know her story, she found herself a single mother, and she had no income apart from herself, and she didn't have a job. But she knew she was really good at making chicken salad. Okay, so what did she do? Is she went round and sold chicken salad to her neighbors. And to this very day, I mean, Chicken Salad Chick, I think their revenue last year was $333 million. They have 552 locations around the country. But what is important about the story is about the values of what has been woven into the narrative. Okay, so Chicken Salad Chick is all about community connection. Okay, it's all about bringing people together, serving really good food, and making it feel like a family connection. And when they do their brand awareness studies, which they do every year, the main word which comes through in their studies is that people feel like they're coming home when they go to Chicken Salad Chick. So that coming home started from where she started when she started her business. She wanted to make people chicken salad as if it was chicken salad you'd make at home. So think about the power of that and how that has transcended into the business it is today. And so I want to give you a really good example. So imagine like tomorrow you decided, I'm going to go create a chicken salad brand. Okay, great, let's go do it. But if I want to show you kind of like how it's easy to slip up and find yourself in a business which actually is not going the way you want to go. So if you're not passionate about what you do, or you haven't kind of identified your unique value and how that plays into your business, what you do is you look at a business opportunity. How am I going to make money? That's not a bad thing to think about, but it has to be more than how am I going to make money. So you create a business, it's about filling a gap in the market, but there are no ties to your story. So what happens after a period of time is that your business feels transactional. Okay, so it feels like people literally are, when they come and buy from you, they are buying something. Yes, they're getting something from it, but they're not going away. They're not understanding why they should come back to you. Because if someone down the road goes and creates a better chicken salad, they're done. Okay, so then what happens when you don't have a narrative coming through and your story is not being told is that you have to start marketing on features and benefits. And that is not the place you want to be. Now you are talking about promotions and discounts and please come in and see me. And like it feels really forced. And after a while, all you have is price on your side. And that is a slippery slope to be in, because now everything is price sensitive and you don't stand for something. So I just think Stacey has done an amazing job, particularly because it's now, she sold the business, but those values have remained. And the most successful companies have the same success when that value is really condensed into the story. So this is a gentleman, John Murrow, who I've worked with for many, many years. I don't know if you've ever heard of Final Sight, but I wanted to bring them up because they are a little bit of a hidden gem. They bought Blackboard about 3 years ago. Blackboard is a marketing kind of automation website company. And I have worked with this gentleman for many, many years. And when he started the company in 1999, he felt like he was concerned that when his daughter went to school every day, he didn't really know what was going on. There wasn't a really good teacher-parent connection. And he believed that children are successful when the parents and the teachers are all embodying the child, which I completely agree with. So he built the company based on that premise and that narrative. This company also turns over about $350 million. He started it himself. And he will tell you with his own words that his narrative has been the reason for their success. And in all of their marketing, it's all about connections, communications. It's about threads of supporting each other. It's in everything that they do, and they never let it die. Now let's get on to you. So I have 6 steps I would love you to take away, which I hope will be really valuable. The first one is define your unique style, okay? So I've used mine just as an example. I'm not saying it's the best example, but mine would be like my tone. You know, I want to come across as very professional. I want to be warm. I want to be friendly. My style is I like to throw a few English comments in there because sometimes a little bit of British humor. I also want to be very educational. So you can see, these are just some things I want you to think about. This list can be more exhaustive, but even getting this right is really, really valuable. And then let ChatGPT know. I learned this from Ethan. Like literally put it in the settings, let ChatGPT know, because then they will write in the same style for you. So that is the first thing, define your unique style. The second, and playing on to what we heard on one of the presentations today, is be personal, okay? And this is interesting. LinkedIn, I think you'll find there's 2 different types of people out there, it feels like, on an extreme basis. You've got some people who look at LinkedIn and think, oh my gosh, LinkedIn is such a professional platform, and I need to be really professional. And then you've got others who kind of are treating it like Facebook, which I don't recommend, okay? But what I do recommend is to go back and look at your LinkedIn and write from the first person. Do not write from the third person, because this is your platform. So you don't want to be talking from the third person. You want to say, I am the CEO. I have an expertise in doing this. And then share something personal about yourself. I do talk about my 2 daughters. I don't show it all here, but I think the 3rd paragraph, I mention the fact that I am empowering female, women, and my daughters are included in that. I want people to, and you know what's interesting? I have one business based on the fact that I've mentioned my 2 daughters, because people come to me and say, I have 2 daughters too, and it's just a reason to kind of get connected. So be personal. The second is, and I think this is the most important, is create better than average content. And I promise you, this is not difficult to do. People think it is, it's not. Because out there right now, something called digital exhaust, which means there's so much crap, okay? So we can go create content that is better than average content. So how do we do that? Be contrarian. Like literally, it's okay to turn around and say, you know what, I don't agree with this, or I think there's a different point of view. Share that point of view, because it's really, really needed out there. I also would encourage you to, share your own trends. Like no one's going to judge you if they happen or they don't happen. What do you think is going to happen this year in your market? Share your perspective. You can even go do a quick online survey and get some data, some statistics to really kind of help fuel your content. And you can share your own stories. These are your stories. I would definitely tell you, go create better than average content. And again, ChatGPT is really helpful in this matter. It doesn't mean if you're feeding it with really good commands and they're your stories, and again, if you put in the settings what your tone of style is, you can get really great content. Choose your comfort channel. Where do you feel most comfortable? I really like YouTube. I mean, I found myself really enjoying doing YouTube, and I didn't think I would. But maybe you're really good at putting together like a 6-page ebook, or maybe you just, would prefer to put together, a byline article. Whatever it is, choose your comfort channel and own it and enjoy it. PR yourself. PR is my backbone. It's what I grew my business on. I'm a big advocate for PR, and you don't have to wait and hire a PR agency to PR yourself. Literally, you can become a Forbes agency expert. It's not that difficult. You can put yourself forward and see if you get accepted. Then you've got a whole platform to tell your story. You can put entrepreneur.com, all these different publications I've listed, you can submit your own story. And again, if you've got some good data, as I mentioned earlier, by doing an online poll, now you've got something really educational to share with the media. So definitely would encourage you to PR yourself. And then finally, don't overthink it. I think I overthought it for years. And it's like, and then I listen to Gary Vee, and Gary Vee is all about like, just move forward. Don't overthink it. It's not that difficult. And I honestly do agree with that. As soon as I decided I was going to make YouTube my platform, I just got on with it, because you can overthink it and then you'll tell yourself not to do it. So my conclusion are all of these things. I can't read them too clearly from here, but basically, don't imitate any others. Let's not try and be a Timothy Chalamet. I don't look like him. Don't know if you do, but be yourself. Literally, be who you are. PR yourself. Push through average content. Create better than average content, and be personal, and go get it. So, thank you, everybody.